here I go.
Call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Would everybody please stand for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amber, would you please know board members and admins present? And then board, you have an agenda in front of you. Are there any changes? No? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. I'll support.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Okay, next up we have a consent agenda with the approval of minute meetings for the regular board meeting dated June 16th, 2025. The closed session regular meeting June 16th, 2025. Approval of accounts payable. $715,569.99 for the month of June 2025. The approval of the treasurer's report dated June 30th, 2025 with a balance of $6,191,923.85. The approval of the new hires and resignations.
We have had a very, what I would say, successful hiring season so far. It's been very efficient, which I've appreciated. The principal team has done a really good job with getting their colleagues in and their teammates in to be able to get some interviews knocked out, so it's been good. We have Sam Blivis. He is our middle school social studies teacher. Haley Hawks left to go to North Carolina, I think it was, one of the Carolinas, to be with they're moving there with her new husband. Katie Bryant, that one I didn't know. Amber, do
Katie
you recall?
Bryant, that is Eastern Service Area School Psychology Apprentice.
That's why I didn't get that one.
Beautiful.
Jen Chicky is our lead special education coordinator. So we shared her with Climax. She's been here before. She's been shared before. I've identified a need for us to have our own special ed coordinator. And so we have brought her on full time, and she's already rocking and rolling. So Kathy Delpina came in this morning. She's going to be a Title I para. We've got Jenna Dornoff, who is our band director. I think this is going into her 4th year, so I've appreciated her communication so far. Maybe she's done 4 years, and then whatever. Anyway, Lisa Guth, she is going to be a part-time special education provider at the middle school / half-time TC to help. We don't have a school psychologist that does all of our testing for special education evaluations, so she'll be taking on some of that evaluation paperwork to help the providers and in lieu of a school psych. She's coming from New York. She's originally from Harbor Creek, so moving back. Danielle Lance, that is actually needs to be scratched. She declined the position today due to insurance. Jessica McIntyre, Title I?
Special Education at the Para Primary.
There we are. And then Tatiana Murray is our new behavior specialist over at the middle school. She's coming from Washington Rider, I think. And then Kate Smith, she is one of our employees already. However, she is undergoing an internship, so we're able to bring her on with a little bit more responsibility and to really enhance our virtual programming. So we just have her through the payroll now differently. And then Nicole Sparks is our counselor over at the middle school. So the team has been busy. Resignations, I mentioned Haley, and then Caleb Piersma is going over to Hastings, where he was headhunted from his old, where he did his internship. So he's going back over there. He'll be in a team setting, not just an individual, so that will suit him well. And then we have no retirements.
At this time, I would entertain a motion. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Horsey,
Yes.
Gillette, Angela.
Oh, yes.
Gare, I'm sorry.
My deaf ear.
Smeltzer.
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Yes.
Shute.
Yes.
Beaverstein.
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Next up, we have reports, community input on agenda items.
Community stayed home.
Come over.
Can't blame them.
Do you have to give me your spiel?
Well, I just need you to state your full name for the record and
Okay, Kim Jankowski. Representing GAEA tonight. As you consider bargaining with GAEA, I'd like to leave you with a few things. One, the current district proposal is a pay cut for many. Some steps are only $378 a year. We have one that's only $81 of a raise each year. The cost of living increase is set at 2.5%. We're experiencing large insurance increases. 2025 rates forced us to double deductibles. Because we're small and because of the hard cap, we shouldered almost 100% of the increase for 2025. And Blue Cross Blue Shield expects another 8 to 10% increase for 2026. So with the changes we made last year, the only thing that would be potentially available would be to double deductibles again to $8,000, which is not feasible. You have teachers working second jobs, teachers forced to live with their parents, teachers like me unable to have needed surgery because I can't afford the deductible or the co-insurance that I'm now faced with. Healthy teachers help students meet their potential. We're not a corporation saving money for shareholders or to line the pockets of a CEO. We are a family. Family takes care of one another. Please take care of your teachers so we can take care of our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, and then Tony's not here. So superintendent update.
I have the board report in front of you guys that I printed out. It's got the updated strategic plan for year 3. As I mentioned, we'll have our 4 goals up top that will remain the same, but underneath that second column, or I'm sorry, that second row, we'll just have updates. So we hired a behavior specialist at the middle school to help meet some of the whole child needs that are definitely shining bright at the middle school. We're in need of some, just some structure, some consistency, and so we're hoping that alignment between Ms. Pratt, our new counselor, and Ms. Murray, they'll be able to keep that going strong or create that to be something strong. Our admin team and behavior team is working there's a book called Lost at School by Dr. Ross Green, and it really just talks about how do you get to, what are the factors that are causing behavior. So I'm asking my dean, behavior team, and administrators to go through, read that book, go through the training. It's a 6-week throughout the year training to really learn on how to teach ourselves, but then also our support staffs that are needing that, how to, okay, well, what's the reason why this is going on, so that then we can address that without just a rubric that we follow. There's more, that's important, but there's also a need to understand why with some of our harder cases. So I'm hopeful for that. We're increasing student and staff relationships through meaningful connections. I had a teacher reach out to me. She's like, let's do ramgrams. We send out postcards to families. Can we do ramgrams? So Audrey's designing that. We're going to get them printed at Carissa, and I'll distribute those to the teachers at back to school. So most teachers send their own thing anyway, but this will be a united front. So that's just another little love letter from GA. Ram family networking. We have an ice cream social tomorrow at the primary from 12 to 1. So there'll be ice cream and some picnic blankets just to get together. We have Ram Jam coming up in September. That is our first home football game, varsity football game. We'll be revealing the Maskell statue at that one. So that's when we'll have our tailgate, which is a fun way to kick off the school year.
What was the date on that?
September 5th. It'll be in the August 1st newsletter as well. Bond coffee conversations. I want to get with you guys on that and start brainstorming, but that's something I want to hold over the next few months, a couple different dates with a couple different of you to be able to have over at Coffee Clutch, just some conversations with the community around the bond. And then real world and problem-based instruction. We just hired our mentor coordinators today, And that we started that program last year where our teacher leaders are actually leading our mentors and our mentees. So that's getting started again for the school year. And then we've got our FAME and districts improvement team that is going to be coupled into one. So we're not meeting 1,000 times during the school year, but we're meeting more intentionally to be with that team. Okay, when we're talking about budget, to Kim's point, it is right now it's ugly. Our school finance department is just ugly, and it's tough because it's hurting the people that you love, and it's hurting how we do business and education, which is blindly right now when it comes to finances. So I'll talk a little bit more in negotiations, but right now we are just kind of at an unknown as to what we're going to get for funding, and that's all I can say at this point. Academics, we extended our NWEA testing, kindergarten through 10th grade. So that's a touch point throughout the school year. You could do a fall, winter, and spring to see growth, measure the growth that we're making versus trying to look at MSTEP data or SAT data down the road that doesn't really apply to that group of kids anymore. So we're excited about that. Through 8th grade. So there was really no measure for high school. That was my biggest part of coming into high school principal, was like, what do I use for growth data other than failure rates, which we've really focused on those, and we will still, but this will help with the academic lens. Bond project. So I was able to meet with Tower Pinkster, and he had some just different ways that we can communicate around the bond. What's the language? How do we want to do that? He's going to get me in touch with Towers. What's it called? What's Nicole at?
It's a communication.
Communication marketing person. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. So since Elite doesn't have one of those, we're using Towers. And so her and I are getting in touch this week so that we can figure out what does a game plan look like. We brainstormed a couple different ways. You can see the bullet list here. Ways to communicate before I get to the dates. Website handing out. They're gonna create a website for us that we're gonna link onto our website that they'll manage and change as things and numbers change, and then that way everybody can go there for information. We're gonna have handouts and display boards, which you guys have seen in the last process. A draft presentation for us to use when we're sitting with the community that they'll provide for us, and then social media posts scheduled. We need to decide if we're gonna make a video with Towers person or if we're gonna make it on our own. And then using Climax Present obviously is another mode. And then these are our upcoming quick, like getting in front of people dates up above. July 21st, we have to do the authorization this evening, and then you see the dates that are coming up. So really just having opportunity for that bond information to get out there so that we can start addressing questions and excitement and concerns, etc.
How are principals reaching out to certain people or certain parents to be on the yes committee or?
So I'll go back up to that bullet point. So Tower and I had, which was Sean Partial, had conversation, which I need to speak with you guys on, is whether we want to do an informational committee or if we want to do a yes committee. So I don't know.
So the difference would be like the school can do informational.
Which we can provide information, or we can go say, hey, this is why, we can exceed, if we do more than $500, we have to register with the state. If not, then we can just have a group of people that are figuring out how to make that committee a yes committee. With talking with Sean, he says he thinks that this situation, the way that we're in, that we would probably be okay with an informational committee, which is what my gut's telling me as well. But I would definitely take the input of what you guys are thinking. So I think that we're a really fact-based bond, that there's not a big shiny thing that we're trying to sell here. So I think providing our community with information is going to allow them to make a sound decision. And then for transportation, we received the titles from the buses that we purchased. If you guys can recall, the $136,000 agreement is now I have to bring those to Secretary of State, and then they'll be all final, but they are filled out. Communication plan around transportation for the coming school year. If you want busing the first day of school, you must have all of your information by August 8th. I'll say it again for the record. So I've been in close communication with transportation about they're making phone calls. So if they've noticed that somebody doesn't have information in yet, and they were on a route last year, Lynette's reaching out to them proactively. I said, good, that's the way we are going to do business. That's how we want to be, a servant. And then I'm going to attend the bus meeting. I have requested that our transportation department has open door policy, has very servant leadership style happening going forward with our bus drivers. I want them to feel as a family as well. So that's definitely a goal for this school year. So I'll be attending that meeting to kind of have eyes and ears and listening heart ready and available. August 13th, donuts from the drivers are going to go around at 9 in the morning, give out donuts to the kids, and then letters are going home the 15th with the final route information. There will be information in that letter to contact the garage if and when there's needed changes or anything of that nature. You guys tired of hearing me yet? Facilities, multi-purpose furniture. We got some new multi-purpose furniture. I was at the Lineman Challenge and saw that it was outside on the turf when I got there. I was like, you taped it, Hadley? Like, you're lucky I love you, man, because I don't know if that tape came off of there smoothly or not. But it's nice furniture. They're skinny tables. You can put them together to be bigger tables. We got new chairs that are nice. So that will be our opening day. We'll be in the multi-purpose room so that we can celebrate that. Definitely meeting with Mike and Frank coming up here next month around expectations. We've got great furniture from Sports Boosters. I walk around the building sometimes and I see a random chair out being used by non-needed. So I want alignment of what's being used, inventory, and then checkout system so that we're not just blowing through our products. What else? Food service. Well, it's definitely Frank's on top of that as well. So food service weekly distribution close to 200 meals. I think David told me like 2 weeks ago. So that was kind of chaotic at first, but I think people are like, oh, I get it now, and it's been received well. Athletics has been smooth this summer. I do have a potential baseball proposal that I will be sending to you guys just to put eyes on, start asking some questions. I'll get Jeff here at one of the meetings so we can see about getting that going. We have some time. But I think it would be about a $4,500 investment to be able to, like we did girls softball, implement baseball. And ironically, I got an email from a parent today, or a text message on Facebook. Could we put together a middle school baseball team? I was like, impeccable. So.
Has the softball participation really increased because
Yes.
of middle school?
Yes. Yep. I think any and all of our youth programs that we put in place have impacted our district tremendously. Food service, I already did that. Stuff the bus. If you guys see their supplies over there was a bus that was over at Walmart. People dropped off items, which was awesome. So we'll get those organized for our RAM store and then back to school open house for needs for the kids. And then there were a couple of just events this summer, reading at the McKay Library in Augusta, the Galesburg-Augusta Library here in Galesburg. So yeah, been productive.
I have a question.
Sir,
How many buses in total do we have both owned and leased?
that's a good question. I can look up the spreadsheet. Off the top of my head, we were at 14 that we were running through auxiliary, so I think now we have 16. I will get that for you.
Okay.
I just don't remember because I have
Man, I don't have them memorized either. Okay, next up we have business items for discussion. The state aid operating notes, cash flow borrowing. Is this you or Philip? Philip. And I love your attire today.
Oh, thank you.
I love it when you wear maroon and gold.
If you don't have anything wise to say, at least look good, right?
I don't want to hear myself anymore, Philip. Thank you.
So this time of year, we go through the process of borrowing some short-term funding for cash flow purposes. It's pretty common for public school districts to do this. And the reason why is because of the timing of our expenditures compared to some of our revenues. So you guys visualize the budget. Much of our local revenue is comprised of tax receipts. Those start flowing into the district in about late January. So almost 6 months into our fiscal years when we start receiving those funds. The state aid doesn't start flowing into the district until October 1. So we have July, August, September expenditures before we start seeing some revenue. So it's that timing difference in when we start seeing some of the big cash items flowing in versus our expenditures out that creates this cash flow issue that we borrow funds for to meet, and then we pay it back within a year.
Those funds all been budgeted?
Yes. I mean, to the extent that we don't really budget for the loan, we budget for interest costs because the loan will come in and then we'll repay it. So it's not really an expenditure. But the interest that we pay that has to be budgeted.
The reason I asked that question is because one of the items coming up is this $1.7 million loan, and I'm trying to figure out how that happened. It didn't get budgeted for. That's the only reason I'm asking the question, and we'll bring it up here again in a minute. But
Yeah, that's what this is. This is the $1.7 million.
So that's
It's called a
what-
state aid note or cash flow borrowing. Again, it's not an expenditure per se.
is this something that happens every year?
This happens
Correct.
every year, and it's something I always bring up because money's
School
fun.
aid, school financing. It's weird.
Yeah.
So
So every school district is forced into the position.
No one's-
Not every
of
school
having to-
district. Not every school district. If
Having
you're
to
fun,
float a loan for millions of this small district,
Yeah.
but in the big one, you're talking millions of dollars.
what was the
To-
amount we did
to fund this
last
short window of time?
year?
This is crazy. Who came up with that?
Yeah, it's a whole fun thing. What did we do?
1.6
No,
million.
we all agree.
1.6, and then the year before was more
That
though,
blew my
correct?
mind when I saw
My
it.
mind as well.
It's always in that 1.5 to 1.7 range. It varies a little bit from
May
year to next.
May I talk a second? Okay. So this is something when I first came in I was confused about as well. And it is something that I always joke about saying at some point I hope we're healthy enough and we can treat our teachers enough to where they need to be to where we don't need to take a loan with the state. So if we had a higher amount in our fund balance, then we wouldn't need to do this, right? We would have enough money to work with without saying, oh my gosh, this happened, we don't have money to pay everybody. So at some point in time, in my lifetime, it would be nice to say we are all healthy enough to where we don't have to spend extra money in interest to be able to make sure we can pay everybody. Because then we're saving money, right? But at this point, we're not there yet.
It
And
just
that's what this
struck
is
me that when
for.
I saw it originally, that was something that probably should have been accounted for in the budgeting to carry through the year, and that was kind of why it raised the question.
It is, Gary. It's anticipated. It's not budgeted as an expense because it's not an expenditure. So we're borrowing the money, and then within 12 months we're going to repay it back. So it's just a cash flow borrowing. It's not long-term borrowing. It's short-term borrowing. So the expense that we budget is the interest. So we anticipate, maybe paying a 4% interest. So that we budget for. That's partially offset because we can invest our excess cash. So our cash flow varies throughout the year. Some months it's higher, some months it's lower. If we have excess cash sitting around, we invest that. And right now we're still earning about 4%. So that 4% that we're paying out is offset by some investment earnings as well. But we don't budget for the loan because it's not an expense.
But just to be clear, that's going to be used to pay ongoing expenses like salaries, benefits.
Until our funds come
promotion.
in, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes straight to that. It's not a new loan for something
I have
special.
no idea this thing operated, but this is crazy. This is just totally crazy.
It's not
It shouldn't happen.
I
It's
feel like we
uncommon.
had the same conversation with Shoe God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
In the long run, it makes sense, and thankfully interest rates are where they are more beneficial than they were when I first joined the board because it does help offset those costs a little bit. But again, down the road, it'd be nice to be in a healthier situation where we don't need to worry about that.
And I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't have an answer, that's fine. But like, what fund balance are we looking at to not have to borrow money?
Probably at least a 20% fund
Yeah,
balance.
that'd be a good.
And that used to be the target a long time ago. I mean, I think it's a target now, but we're doing good to stay at the bottom.
But it's difficult when insurance rates keep going up and everything else for everybody. It's a whole
Can we
picture,
just go back
right?
to the board superintendent board report? Where it
And these are decisions that are no fault of Lindsay's. Would you like me to throw that out there?
Thank you.
So good question. I like those questions as a.
I mean,
But thanks, Phil.
being
Yeah.
a newcomer, I mean, I just
No,
like I
it's
said, if this
confusing.
is an ongoing thing, then but somebody
good
should
question.
be lobbying
You would
the
think, right?
legislature to change the rules here, so
So
that,
that- I was
none of these
thinking that.
districts have to get caught in this thing. Because that's just,
Yeah.
I did the math, and if somebody buys this issue at, let's say, even at 4%, they're going to make a pile of tax-free money.
Probably about
And I
the
mean,
same.
it's great for them, but it's not great for any of the districts.
We'll get them, Gary.
So we need to remember that. Like, I
There's
think it's
your
in the
job.
fall. They have the legislation meeting of what we want to make the goals for the year. So we need to remember this when we go there and make that. You know what I mean? Like they take the top 20, but put that on the list.
Whole big
You
picture.
too. Hold me accountable to make sure that we do
It's a whole big picture. All comes
Any other
together.
questions?
Thank you for being here.
It's not your fault either. How
Thank
about that?
I wanna
you.
know
Thank you
how
for
to get in on
educating.
that deal, That's all.
Thank you, Philip.
Well, you have to have $1.7 million.
Okay, so
Okay,
move on now.
now.
Next up, we have the Galesburg-Augusta Virtual Academy course log for 2025-2026.
So you'll recall 2 years ago, maybe 3. 2 years ago, we brought you the curriculum from Virtual Academy so that we could get that approved, so we could have students doing GABA. These are just some updated courses that they are offering now. So we just wanted to get that in front of you so that you could see what those new courses are, so that we could get that approved and offer them to our students. Yes.
We don't require any, we're not expected to have any kind of minimum enrollment into any of these classes, right?
Nope.
I just wanted to, I didn't think so, but I didn't ask.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
All right, next up, the special school election.
So hold on 1 second, please. So we have Amber, is this the only piece of paper I have? Yes, because then there's the resolution that they have.
I didn't know.
Right, but they have those.
The email.
So this is where's the proposal, the ballot proposal?
It's in
language?
that packet of stuff,
Yeah.
that big
Oh,
packet.
I don't have that,
I
sorry.
do, somewhere.
So should I just pull it up from the board packet then?
This board,
I got it right here,
board packet part 2. You're looking for the front page?
right there. Let me read it,
Yeah, please do,
the
Gary.
whole thing?
I mean,
I'll read
we've
the
gotta
whole
get
thing.
it, I can't project from
It
here,
says,
so.
shall Galesburg-Augusta Community Schools, Kalamazoo County, Michigan, borrow the sum of not to exceed $11,200,000 in parentheses, and issue its general obligation unlimited tax bonds therefore in one or more series for the purpose of remodeling school buildings and facilities, equipping, re-equipping, furnishing, and refurnishing school buildings and facilities, erecting a new transportation facility, acquiring, installing, equipping, and re-equipping school buildings for instructional technology, and preparing, developing, improving, and equipping structures, facilities, and sites with a question mark. And then there's some informational. You want me to read that as well?
Does anybody need Gary to read that as well?
No.
Okay. No, thank you, Gary, so much. So the language for what we have to do is certify that we are okay with that language and get this signed off so that we can get this to the state by August 12th, or what was it?
To the county clerk.
County
So
clerk.
it's permitting the bond proposal, calling the special election, and approving the ballot language that's in there.
I have a whole bunch of questions. Can I go first so that
Yes.
anybody else who wants to? Let me say right at the beginning, I'm not opposed to the proposal. What I have difficulty with is the way, the speed and the lack of definition that has occurred in this whole thing. And I want to just stop and go back and come forward, and you'll see why I'm here. So sometime back in November of last year, Bob Naughton, a financial guy, apparently came to a meeting and says, hey, and he was right to do this, hey, you got an opportunity to have a bond issue with no millage increase. That's part of his job. And what happened was that concept got jumped on, rightly so, I guess, and it's moved forward. So then what happened is I showed up in January, and Sean from Tower Penske made a presentation. I voted no, and the reason I did, it was very clear, is I had no definition of what was going on.
Correct.
So time moves forward, and then last month, and there's still been, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I haven't been provided any specifics. It's all been in generalities, so to speak. So last month, we had to vote on another proposal, and at the time we took, and I voted yes, and at the time that vote was taken, I didn't have the information that was sent out. The reason I didn't have it was the agenda got changed a couple times, and it came on Monday, and I didn't look at my email until after them. And when I got the stuff and I So I start reading it. When I came to that $5 million for transportation, so I just said, "You got to be kidding me! I mean, this is crazy."
It's expensive.
And for 16 buses, I didn't know that at the time. And I said, I haven't seen any plans, specifications, no, nothing really. And so now we're here today, and the problem we've got is because of timelines, we have to vote today to get this thing on the ballot, or in the alternative. And this is just me and the way I do things, is that I do things very precisely. I like to have the information, know exactly what I'm doing. And at this moment, we can't do that. And what I'd like to, because I'm going to be forced into an uncomfortable position here, because based on what I've seen and know, I can't in good conscience vote yes today to put this thing on the ballot. What I would rather see us do, frankly, is to postpone this thing until next May, where we can get all of these specifics, know exactly what we're going to do, be able to present it. There's some benefits to that in a way, because less people show up in May, typically, to vote at those elections. You got a better chance. And here's the bigger deal. If you put it on in November and it fails, and if it fails by a big margin, it's going to be tough to bring it back. It will just be real tough. And I'm throwing this out only because, as it said, I still got no specifics on anything. I'll give you an example. Some guy from the community walked up and said, "Hey, Gary, you got a $11 million bond issue. What are you going to do with it?" And the only thing I could say is, you're going to spend half of it on a bus garage, and I'm not sure about the rest, and that's not a good answer for somebody.
Roofs.
So anyway,
Roofs.
this is my 2 cents worth.
No, you're good.
I'm not opposed to this.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to be practical. And as I said a long time ago, if you're going to do something, I want to see it succeed, not blow up, because we don't have the specificity, and I've had my say. Thank you.
Well, and one thing that I think that we could have conversations about, I don't know if it's at this meeting or at one of the community meetings, but as the location of the bus garage, because that hasn't been decided, right?
The only thing, and Gary, I feel that as well, is like, what does it look like? We don't know that stuff yet.
And
At
this
this
is the
point, what
problem.
we've had is Tower Pinkster and Elite come in,
This is the
and
problem.
they've said it's not. I think we're in actually an okay spot. So we don't have we don't have the product yet, because we don't even have approval yet, and so that's what we have to get first. That's part of the process. But we know that we've got to get roofs fixed, and we went from so when Tower and Elite came in, they calculated out 17.2 million or something like that of needs in the district, right? So we had to go through this spreadsheet and find where we can cut. And part of the transportation was going to potentially have some storage for athletics in there, or some storage for maintenance. We had to take that stuff out so that we can make the transportation what it's needed, what we need, and then have funds for the rest of the roofs and things like that. So 10 million isn't that much. It's a lot, but it's not that much in the schemes of what we need
But
done.
$5 million for a bus garage to house at the moment 16 bucks. That will blow somebody away if you tell them that. They'll go, "You got to be nuts."
Gary, I've asked you to come to the bus garage a handful of times. Have you
No,
yet
I'm not
been?
saying we don't need one.
Right.
I'm not saying that at
Okay.
all.
Just
we
the
definitely
cost-
need one. I'm saying
The sticker
that
shock.
$5 million, which is almost half of the total value, that's shocking for
Things
some
are
And that's
so
what we decided
expensive.
and try to
Yeah.
put it in perspective when you don't know what you're getting. That's the only point I'm trying to
And
make.
that's very valid. I would like to say, when we did the last bond, after it was approved, we held all those different meetings where the community came in, and then that's when we actually started
The meat
designing
potatoes.
things.
But
But
That's-
here's,
with
but
that
here's the
said,
problem.
though, this is the only, okay, so we were building the football field. We knew where we were.
We knew where it was
build
going. Correct.
And I think that might be hard for some voters. They're going to want to know the location of it, because
Agreed.
everything else that we've built, we've known the location. Now,
It's
the
true.
last one, the football field was very vague, like you're saying, and we were able to do turf. So because it wasn't spelled out that we were doing grass. In the past, they had put that we would do grass. So we want to be careful not to get ourselves back in the corner, so
With
we have to do
language.
certain things.
You gotta
That's
follow
why it's
exactly
very vague.
Yep.
But Chrissy's point is exactly what I said. You're voting on something, but you don't know what you're doing with preciseness, and that's my problem, because that's just not the way I've
I
done
get it.
things. I like to know, and the rest of us, that's responsible. and I want to be responsible. So this is kind of a dilemma because of the timeline. And I'm just
But
saying,
that's
I
not
just,
because of the
It's not the
timeline, that's how they
timeline.
do it. That's
It
how
is.
it's done.
That's the unknown, right? It's taking the steps, and then once we get there, then we determine all that. That's
Even
the
wait
hard
until
part.
May, you're not going to get more information between now and May. You're going to be in the same space, just down the road.
And the part that I do think is responsible is like when they held those meetings to decide on, you know, what the outside of the addition to the primary was going to look at. They had community members in there, so that's one part you can sell, is that, you know, there is community input the whole way through from, you know, step A to step Z, whatever it is. So, I mean, that is one part that you can sell and say, you know, like, you get to help us decide how we're spending essentially part of your money.
And when it comes to dollar amounts, the dollar amounts in general worlds are wicked, right? So when we go from consumer at home to even like business, like what I have, to now school, the cost of doing business is completely different because it's held to such a different standard. And so when we look at a bus garage, I might be like, oh, that should be a couple $100,000. It's completely different in the school world compared to a consumer world. And so I think that's a sticker shock on its own because it's not like it's a Taj Mahal for them, but there's so many drainage things they have to hold up for. There's the decommission of different things. So it's so generalized. Just like if you're looking through a microscope, okay, I'm on a low power lens, and then when we get farther down the road, that's when we get to that high power lens to say this is where we're at now, and these are the finite items. So there's so many ways to critique how this is going to look and how much it's going to cost as we get farther along. But generally, practice looking at it, they're saying should be generally a $5-point-something million job to do it from start to end, with oil, with fuel, with everything from beginning to start, or start from the end.
I feel like though you want that model to show somebody, like this is what it's going to look like and this is going to go here. Is that kind of what you're saying though?
I don't know the
in
facts.
part, yes, but I mean, we were talking $11 million, and I know in generalities where some of it's going to, that $5 million sticks out as a sort of thing.
Correct.
Here's the problem. When you have no specificity, and step into a layman's shoes for a minute,
Yeah.
what it allows you to do is anything you want to do when you don't have any, and that's the danger right there. That's how I'm looking at this from the average guy's perspective.
But it's going to be so limited by the amount of money that we're asking for, too. I mean, we can build any type of transportation building we want to build, like with any kind of materials or anything like that. But that's what the committee that's made up of different people decide.
Including community members.
This is a classic,
And
excuse me
Lindsay.
for saying, this is classic Nancy Pelosi. We got to pass it and then we'll tell you what's in it.
I totally get what you're saying. And you're right. From the outside perspective, somebody who puts as much thought into it as you've traditionally put thought into it, it does look sus.
We're not putting a break room in there. We got that in the original. We're taking that
I
out.
got no problems with the building. I got no problems putting it here. I have problems with the lack of specificity. Has anybody seen anything?
That doesn't get done at this point. It doesn't get
So-
done until it gets voted.
But
I know,
But
but
we have all
I hear
seen
you.
it.
I do hear you.
Could we be helpful in the sense of what we're expecting? So now this is what we're expecting for how much we're putting together for this bond. If it's passed, what are our next steps and how to differentiate what that means? And that may help you to see, we pull in community members along with admin and along with teachers or whoever this might be. And that's when it gets broken down of the absolute needs and what money we have to work with to get those funds done.
So we've all seen this. Like, maybe Sarah, were you involved with the last?
I don't
one?
think
Not as
she-
a board member, but as a community, and I was still
But
around.
like we
so.
all like when they come, like the committee will design the building, and they will say this, and then the board
And what
comes
the
to the
needs
board
are.
and we approve it. And that's not, you're not going to see it before then. Like, sorry.
But so the needs are there. We know this dollar amount is what is going to be allocated for it. And if this bond gets passed because the school needs it, and technically bonds ago, before I was even having kids in school, they proposed to have a bus garage area for them. And that was over here. But that it wasn't affordable. And they've been only doing the bare meat and necessities to get the school caught up until this last bond. And that's where I feel like in my world, I like to say, I'm not going to try to just catch up to the last school in the running. I want to go one step above them. And so when we had the option, like for the field to get done, that's like me getting an ultrasound. I'm not going to get someone that's 20 years old if I have the option. I'm going to try to catch up to the people ahead of me. Same thing with this. So previously we just said, no, we're not going to do a bus garage. We're going to try only to do meat potatoes because we can't afford to do anything else. And now at this point we need to because we have these buses that are so expensive to take care of.
I would say it was very irresponsible of us not to do it in the last bond. So like when that got looked at and everything that we did.
But financially looking at it.
Is it fair?
In May, that's what I'm saying.
Is it fair on your end to provide as much transparency as we can provide based on the amount of knowledge that we have? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can only give what we have. Are you requesting that we give as much of what we have as we can to the public? Is that kind of... Because I feel like your concern's more from the public angle.
Of how to explain it.
Yeah, so I mean, should we
And
be
where that
explaining
money's
that, you know,
allocated.
we do keep the language vague for this reason because, you know, costs change and we may have to scale something back. I mean, is it fair to do that?
And we want their input. We want them to have some say. So.
The problem most people, me included, have with government is there's a lot of reckless spending and non-accountability. I'm just trying to be more precise. That's what it strips down to its essence.
Correct.
And
And the legal
that's the way I
terminology
run my
cannot
own
be.
life, and I tell you, I've been doing it for so long. I don't know how to do it differently. And
Right.
this is a problem for me, maybe, but that's how I am.
Well, I'm wondering how we overcome that.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm, you know, I mean...
Can I give a little bit
overcome
of
Yeah.
maybe insight on it? And maybe this is my lack of sharing, but I just didn't think we were at this part yet. So when I sit down with Tower, we talk about how we want our transportation. We say, okay, it needs to be this many square foot. We wanted to add a new maintenance section for storage for Frank. And so we said, okay, this is how big this is going to be. This is about how much we can get from this. We've already had to shave that part off just because we know that numbers wise, we've got to do that. But like this document up here, Gary, can you look up on that screen? This is what we're going to get more information on. This, it's really hard to see up there, isn't it?
Hard for me to
But like it shows the director's office is this footage, and then it calculates out how much that cost is, and then it gives us just the basics of just the bare, I guess, materials, if you will. There's
The
no
bones.
specific design of what that looks like at this point in the game. There's just numbers on needs, how much materials cost, and then how much size we would need of that. And that's all we have at this point in the game.
So you have like the basic square footage of what we're expecting.
Just
to get.
yeah,
Well,
like
cost per square
we said,
footage,
okay,
and it's this much
is it fiscally responsible to take down the current bus garage? No, it's not, because it costs money to do that. So we're just going to leave it, and then we're going to say, okay, Frank, why don't you take over that stuff, that space with your maintenance stuff from that point, and then we'll get that, you know, tuned up just a little bit if we can afford it.
Tweak it.
And then and then that way the transportation is going to be smaller, so maybe we're not spending all of that. So I mean, it's been me, Sean, and then just the people that we've had many conversations on at this point, because it's not even, we can't go build it if we don't have the permission first.
Is there some reason why we can't postpone this until May?
So I thought through that as you asked it, but it doesn't change this process anymore.
No, you're right. It doesn't. But it allows time to sort out all this other stuff. Now, your costs are going to change a little, no question of that.
But
Yeah,
none of
I don't
those
think
is
that
gonna
there's
be
anything-
But
sorted out
it gives you
until
the
after.
opportunity to know exactly what you're going to do with what
not-
you're
I
doing.
thought
not
it
gonna-
created a mill increase if we waited.
Well, that they're not also going to continue to work on it if they're not moving forward. So they're only going to put so much work in it for free,
Yeah.
right, before we get approval, and then they're going to get specificities. So we don't lose money with them doing this if it doesn't pass. But they're not going to get specificities and put more money into it unless we have it passed and we have a job for
Well, and
them.
there's no way to predict, like, so our last bond when it passed and then the COVID and everything, the prices were way higher than we thought. So that's some of the reason why they don't do this, because there's fluctuation in a lot of this stuff. And the interest rates and everything.
We lost a
So
lot.
even if we wait till May, it's not going to change the process for you to get what you want.
The plans and specifications don't come until after we vote.
Correct. And then
They just
we're
don't
all
move
part
forward.
of that, creating that.
Now we have
The initial is just the
general
needs.
stuff, which we've talked about, the roofs, the boilers, the chillers, but we can't say specifically this is exactly what it'll be, because they refuse to put it down on paper and then get handed their butts when they're $3 million short.
Is it kind of like if you're going to say, okay, we're going to build a 2-story house, it's going to have 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. That's all you're going to know.
But you
Nope.
can't even know that
Right,
because if
'cause you might have to
inflation
change
goes
the
up, you're building a ranch.
So we're gonna build this house. We're gonna build a house, and this is how much it costs.
Well,
And then once you
Chances
say
are, yeah,
yes
we're
to
going
building the
two-story to
house,
one-story to.
down the
mobile
road,
home.
we'll say, okay, this is where the bedroom's gonna be. This is what color
It's
wallpaper.
just our
You
needs.
can't do
It's
any of that
true
until
needs at this
after we
point.
say yes for building the house.
And I just want to correct one thing I said. I said that usually, I said last time there was community involvement. I assumed there would be this time, and there might not be because this is all maintenance kind of stuff. So
There should be for the bus garage.
Yeah, I think. for
yeah,
those
I don't know. I just
bedrooms,
wanted to just
'Cause there's
pull
a
that
lot
back.
in
Who here doesn't trust Newton? We hired her to do a job. Her job is to get as close to where she can be and say, this is 11.7 million. That's what we need for this bond. That's going to give us the zero increase and be able to move forward. Her job is to get that dialed in as much as possible, do what's best for the school district, and get us to say, you know what, all right, I trust you. We made a decision to put you in that role. I'm going to vote for this to move forward. And then we are able to get everything hammered in. That's when we get to sit down at the table and really go toe to toe with Elite. That's how it works. Right now, our job is to say, do we trust you? Do I have a specific question about what I can and can't do with the money? And other than that, our job is to say, our employee is doing her job well, and we're going to do what we need to do for the both.
I absolutely love what you're saying. Can I add to it one thing? Timeline, the only other thing in my brain that changes now versus waiting till spring is the more equipment we have to postpone and put maintenance in that we could replace that needs it is taking money out of our general fund, and then we can't pay our teachers what we want to pay them as well. So the more things we can get passed in this bond that needs true fixing, that we're wasting money in maintenance, just tweaking it along, which is a lot of money, the more we're wasting and we can't put it where it needs to be. So I feel like it's a need that the more we're putting it off, the more we're wasting, and we're not giving people the money that need money.
I feel your pain. I get it.
Yeah, it's a great
It's ridiculous that we can't have plans and specs sitting in front of us and say, okay, this is what our bus garage is going to look like if this passes in November.
Gary, I asked, when can we go out and
I
look
do.
where it's gonna be? You're like, you're crazy. This isn't where we're at.
We've all been
no
through it.
problems with any of it. It's just this. It's like I said. It's the lack of details and specificity. I can't.
It'll come.
It's just kind of how I am.
It'll come.
Makes
You
sense.
never bought the mystery box up and back.
I tell you, I'm doing all kinds of projects.
I love the
It's
dollar
like
mystery bags.
Everything is
Dollars.
done very precisely.
You're like, give 'em all
I
in
don't
here.
have any problems. Everything works. And so that's the reason why I do it that way, because I found out a long time ago, if you keep doing it, it keeps working, and rarely do you have problems.
Like Shub said, it is very different when you're building like a corporate building or a school building, because just look at the amount of toilets we had to put out there
Yeah.
for the stadium.
And we're subject to somebody else's process
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
So you might not have gotten the answers that you wanted, but are you ready to move on?
And thank you for allowing me to speak with this.
Good conversation.
All is well.
You should feel good about what you're doing. So.
Okay. Next up, we have the district strategic plan, year 3.
Can we do that
I
already?
thought we did that.
Yeah, I put it in my report.
Okay.
Oh,
I just had it. It's gonna be, you guys can all get a copy of it. We're gonna get it out back to school. It's just ready to rock, ready to go.
I appreciate you sticking to a plan and being that broadcasted out, so I appreciate that.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you getting it in front of us, everyone. Too.
Yeah.
I know.
Communications. Kim, do you have anything else? Okay. Thank you. Business items for decision. A, state
about the
aid.
handbook?
Yeah, we skipped the handbook.
Primary school handbook.
E.
Oh, thank you. Primary student parent handbook 2025-2026.
It is updated.
Good.
Yes.
The others are working on theirs the first week of August. So,
Go for it.
did Sean get back to us on
He
what that
did.
big
If you
updates
go
were?
to your bars, to that bar, the updates are listed under background information that we made.
Oh,
The updated staffing changed, we took out an excused
Unexcused absences.
He increased the fever temperature for the health department guidelines. End of the school day is now 2:55, not 2:54, something to do with days and clock hours. And he added a clause about parents picking up their kids early. They need to wait until the students are at their school.
All general stuff.
Any questions?
Beautiful.
1 whole minute.
It probably was like that, and it just never ever got updated over the last.
Fair enough. I like that.
Kim, do you remember when the primary went from 254 to 255?
I don't even know they moved on from 253, so no.
Serious business right there.
Sometime after I left, because we were still 253.
Okay, so we did public participation, business items for decision, state aid, operating notes, cash flow, borrowing, resolution.
Yay, yay.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll provide a motion to approve the state aid operating note resolution as presented.
I'll support.
Do we have any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davidson,
Yes.
Smeltzer,
Yes.
Shute,
Yes.
Gillette,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Eberstein,
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Next up, we have the Galesburg-Augusta Virtual Academy Course Catalog 2025-2026. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the My Virtual Academy K-12 course catalog, including the new courses added for the 2025-2026 school year as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? I just want to add, it's always exciting when we get to offer new classes, so,
I was really excited.
yeah.
Thank you.
Roll call vote, please.
Shute,
Yes.
Smeltzer,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Gillette,
Yes.
Eberstein,
Yes. Motion carries 7-0.
Don't mind me, I'm just stretching the back because it's seized.
Next up, we have the special school election. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Christy Corsi to sign and submit a copy of the certification of ballot proposition to the election coordinator and county election clerk.
I'll support.
I thought it'd be weird if I did.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Shute,
Yes.
Gillette,
No.
Davidson,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Smeltzer,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Eberstein,
Yes. Motion carries 6-1. Next up, we have the primary school student parent handbook 2025-2026.
Is there a tour?
Wait.
Oh, okay. The bond proposal resolution.
I'll motion to approve the bond proposal resolution as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Smeltzer,
Yes.
Gillette,
No.
Davidson,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Shute,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Eberstein,
Yes. Motion carries 6-1. Now we can move on to the primary school student parent handbook 2025-2026. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve updates to the primary school student parent handbook as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davidson,
Yes.
Gillette,
Yes.
Smeltzer,
Yes.
Shute,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Eberstein,
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Next up, we have closed session scheduled, so I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session under Section 8C of the Opens Meeting Act for the purpose of negotiations discussion.
I'll support.
Do we need a break, or do we want to go right into closed session?
I'm good.
Okay, we'll go into closed session at 6:54. We have board comments, starting with you.
I am so excited overall how our school is coming along, and my son was lucky to participate in the lineman challenge the other day, and oh my gosh, the family and the 20 plus schools, and it still felt, it was just so organized and so wonderful, and I loved it. That's all I got. It was so good. It's all the feelings. It was cold. But it was good.
It was a good cold.
Honestly, it was a good day for them to do it because they were working their little butts off. And I felt short.
Oh,
There were so many tall people there.
wow.
These kids were giants.
That's
Try to figure that one out.
I know. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to piggyback on that. The Lineman Challenge was awesome. I'm just, not a lot going on right now, so I'm really excited for the upcoming football season. I think we're a good team at varsity level at least. I don't know about JV, but I'm excited.
I add one thing too.
Yeah.
With this lineman challenge, if we did not have turf, that field would have been ruined. FYI.
Well,
because there was
they don't do it on the. If we didn't have turf,
no.
they don't do it on the field.
But it would have been so muddy because we had rain right before that, And then with all of those equipment items they were utilizing, it was just so cool to have a safer area for them to utilize, and it did not get ruined. That's cool.
Are you all on?
Sitting spots?
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Sorry. What you had said earlier about, your team doing the hiring, I was in the band director interviews, and Teresa did a fantastic job. Like, I can really see like the great leadership trickling down to your admin, and I just really appreciate how creative a job you did. It was a very long day, but we're very excited for the new band director. Next Friday is our last day of band camp, and at 3 p.m., if anybody is available, you can come on out to Nashville Fields, find yourself a seat in the stands, and preview our show, which actually just got changed today, so we're very excited. It's going to be a fun show now, so Friday at 3 p.m. Next Friday at 3 p.m., August 1st.
You still have your customer service voice on.
You said 3 p.m. on Friday?
Yep. So, and then afterwards, they do the whole shaving cream fight and get hosed down.
Not on the turf.
No, that's where the seniors
It's just
do it.
going to clean the beads.
And
It's
you're
okay.
saying,
Laura,
are you getting both fire departments this year? No, thank you for letting me, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Sarah,
That's all I have.
not anything?
I had a couple things. Thank you for coming to the Augusta Library.
Sure thing.
Totally I saw that, oh, screenshot. It will go in the evidence folder as soon as I remember to put it in there. It's at home saved. Where did they go with that? But yay, thank you for coming to the library.
To Augusta to Galesburg this year, just so you know.
And hey, if you ever get the opportunity to see the Augusta Museum open, which sometimes they open it at the car show, which I believe is August 2nd, so it's coming up, the car show.
They do it at the car show too.
Yeah, it's a cute little museum that we have, and I believe there's one of the old band things in there, so yay for that.
Do they always have a car show?
Car shows every year.
I haven't seen that information to put in my newsletter. I saw the golf outing for Galesburg.
I'll send it to you
like a whole thing. Yes, please do.
Yeah, it's every August. It's done by the fire department.
Yeah.
There's always like food. They do like fire extinguisher stuff sometimes, and then there's just classic cars everywhere. So that's our big thing. And I'm happy to be working with the band again on some t-shirt designs. So now that they've got a new show, which was announced today, I'm going to go home and spend this week coming up with a t-shirt design hopefully before Friday for them. So I'm happy to have that. Like my 6th year doing that off and on.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
I got 2 kids that graduated already, and
He's like, I'm done.
For all the summer stuff here, it's been nice to listen to Chuck Hadley over the mic say, you can blame Chuck Hadley for making that mistake again.
Oh my gosh, here's the door.
So it's just neat to hear the cheering. I mean, because obviously I live right behind the school, so to just hear all the things going on and not have to be a part of it has been kind of a blessing
It's
this
a little
summer.
lovely when you're scheduled for a job.
It starts in August with football for 3rd and 4th grade. So I'm excited for that. But it's really neat to hear the things going on. You can hear more excitement. Maybe I just missed it because it was down at the primary for so long. But it just feels like there's just a lot more going on, a lot more good things. So it's really cool.
I have 3 things.
Okay.
First, I realize the minutes tend to be generic, but I would request that they specifically state that my votes on the bond proposal were solely due to the process, not the proposal. Second, I fully intend to help in these meetings you're going to have, and I'll be offended if you don't invite me. When somebody asks me, well, what are you doing here? Because, then it becomes self-evident. And the third thing is I think Lindsay's doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that you said that because I was going to ask if people asked why you voted no.
That's
if you
exactly
say
what you
that.
tell them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the process is crazy to me. That's it in a nutshell. I don't.
I agree with you, Gary. Tell Lindsay said that too.
Let's be clear. That's what you tell them.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I'll tell them.
So we took a group of 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders and 6th graders to Susical at the Barn Theater. So we had about 20 kids show up, and they got to go through the stations and see back behind the stage and everything, and meet the actors and actresses. And then we had Barn Pizza, which if you haven't, they do have the best pizza. And then we got to see Susical. I think everybody enjoyed it. We didn't lose any kids.
That's always good.
And we're going to do we're going to take the middle school to see My Fair Lady in a couple weeks, August 7th, I think. But that was fun.
Very cool.
And thank you for all your hard work this summer.
I'm struggling right now with just like workload in the sense of like I'm waiting for everybody else right now. Amber and I were discussing this earlier. Like we're full tilt kind of people, and like everybody's off in July. So I'm like, where's all these things? And so I just have a different type of anxiety I've never had before. As a principal, I could make my building come alive, right? But like as a superintendent, I'm waiting for everybody's stuff. So I'm struggling with that right now, but I'm self-aware with it, and come August, we'll be ready to rock and roll. But yeah, it's just been a weird feeling. So if I seem off, that's just kind of what I'm dealing with right now.
Can't do everything you want.
We were discussing the wine of the month club for you.
I didn't say wine, I said drink of the month.
No, I wouldn't
I'd
want
like to give
to.
Amber a quick thank you for registering me for the conference again. Thank you.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, you're doing a great job, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out to Amber.
I want to let you know too. So Lindsay Philip brought it to her attention about the budget for our expenses for conferences and classes and stuff. So we've been looking at that. That's why I asked for everybody's transcript. Looking at what classes are refundable, basically, and maybe making some changes to that. Obviously, that has to come to the board for a vote. So I just wanted to I've talked to a few of you guys, but I want to let you know that we're looking at that.
Fundraisers.
You managed to-
Let's go clean people's houses and mow their lawns. I'm not kidding.
Go clean mine.
I got a riding mower. I can use my lawnmower.
I just mentioned the other day I need all the help.
Hey, you have teenagers that offered you help.
That's why I'm getting excited.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:27.
The meeting is Wednesday.